As we all know, LEGO Star Wars sets come in a very wide variety of prices. There's some sets that almost everybody can afford, and then there's other sets that people go into debt in order to get their hands on. So today, I'm going to go over what I think is the best LEGO Star Wars set at every price point. And also, for your information, I'm doing all time. I'm not only doing current sets, almost every set on this list is retired. Anyways, hopping into the list, starting off with $10 to $15. This is the price range where we saw some of the best battle packs and best microfighters ever made, and in my opinion, there's one set within this price range that easily stands above the rest, and that's 75036 Utapau Troopers. This set was released back in 2014 with 83 pieces and a retail price of $13, so falling within that price range of $10 to $15. And if you watched my video last year where I ranked every battle pack, I actually put this set at number 1. I strongly think this is the best battle pack that's ever been made. The 212 Troopers are absolutely gorgeous. LEGO just did an incredible job on them, and they're way better than the ones that came in the 2022 ATTE. And on top of that, this is a rare case where the build of the battle pack is actually accurate to the source material. It's not just some random side build or vehicle to accommodate the troopers, it's actually pretty accurate to the Tri-Droids that we do see in episode 3. Anyways, continuing on, next up we have $20, and in my opinion, the best $20 LEGO Star Wars set ever made is 7155 Trade Federation AAT. This set was released back in 2000 with 158 pieces, and I know some of you guys might think it's kind of not fair for me to choose this set because $20 in 2000 is obviously not what $20 is today, and if this set was released today, I imagine it would go for around $40, but honestly, I don't care. It was $20 back in 2000, and I strongly think it's the best $20 set ever made. It was really way ahead of its time for releasing in only the second year of LEGO Star Wars, and some people even consider this to still be the best AAT that LEGO has made to this day. Next up, we have $25, and this was the price point where over the years we saw a lot of really awesome small-scale starfighters, and there was just so many to choose from, but I narrowed it down to a tie between two very iconic Jedi starfighters, or Jedi Interceptors you might say, being 75038 Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from 2014, and 75135 Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor from 2016. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor just because I like the dark red better than the bright yellow on Anakin's, but that's just me being subjective. I try to make these lists as objective as possible, so that's why I just had to draw a tie between these two. I think they both look incredible, and they're both really iconic, and it really just comes down to which color you like better. Continuing on to $30, this one was very hard for me to choose from, and unfortunately I had to draw another tie between 75280 501st Legion Clone Troopers from 2020, and of course 75372 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack from this year 2024. This is one where I really did not want to have to draw a tie. I mean, for the Interceptors I didn't care, but for this one I really wanted to pick one that I thought was better, but I really just couldn't do that. I think both of these sets are pretty much equal. I mean, yeah, I personally think the 501st Troopers look a lot better than the Clone Troopers in the other battle pack, but I can't deny the amount of playability in this set along with the value. I mean, it's only $30 for all of this, and on top of that you get 5 battle droids, 3 of them being the new super battle droids. In this case, I really just could not figure out which one was better. I mean, they're both equal in my mind. They both have good and bad things about them, and again, I just could not pick which one I thought was better. Next up, we have $40, and this one was fortunately a bit easier to choose from, and in my opinion, the best $40 LEGO Star Wars set ever made is 75086 Battle Droid Troop Carrier. This set was released back in 2015 with 565 pieces. It really is crazy how much this Battle Droid Carrier stands out from the rest because it's nearly 100% accurate. It's actually pretty close to the proper size that these things are supposed to be in universe, and it has 2 droid racks on the back compared to all the other ones only having 1, which again is just more accurate. And on top of that, you're getting 15 minifigures, well 14 battle droids and 1 exclusive Gunyan for only $40, and this incredible build that's a great army builder and just looks really good on display. I really just could not think of a better $40 LEGO Star Wars set than this. Anyways, continuing on to $50, in my opinion, the best $50 LEGO Star Wars set is one of the rarest LEGO Star Wars sets ever made, being 7283 Ultimate Space Battle. This set was released back in 2005 with 567 pieces, and this set is really rare because it was a Target exclusive for only about 3 months. It released in October of 2005 and then retired just a few months later in December. But rarity is not why I chose this set. I chose this set because you're literally getting 5 starfighters for $50, and that deal is literally just insane. I mean, hence the name, it is the Ultimate Space Battle. It really is just one of the most bang for your buck playsets ever made, and also at the time in 2005 it was the only set to include Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. Anakin's appeared in its own set, but Obi-Wan's Legends was exclusive to this. Next up we have $60, and in my opinion the best $60 LEGO Star Wars set ever made was 75172 Y-Wing Starfighter. This set was released back in 2017 with 691 pieces, and unfortunately I think this set actually kind of gets overlooked. It's pretty underrated in my opinion. I mean, I think without a doubt this is the best playscale Y-Wing that LEGO has ever made by a long shot, and on top of that you're getting quite a few minifigures, and they're actually pretty unique figures as well, like Admiral Raddus and Moroff, and a really cool navy blue rebel pilot. Anyways, continuing on to $70, in my opinion the best $70 LEGO Star Wars set ever made was 75211 Imperial TIE Fighter. This set was released back in 2018 with 519 pieces, and just like the Y-Wing, I think this is without a doubt the best playscale TIE Fighter that LEGO has ever made, although unlike the Y-Wing, I don't think this set is very underrated, and that's mainly because of its minifigure lineup. This set is actually based off of the movie Solo, so it includes that awesome Min Bond trooper, as well as Han Solo in his Imperial armor, and Tobias Beckett, and then of course a TIE pilot, which are all just really awesome and unique figures that LEGO will most likely not make again, or at least for a very long time. And on top of that, like I said, the TIE Fighter model itself is just pretty much perfect. I don't think LEGO could do much better than this. Next up we have $80, and in my opinion the best $80 LEGO Star Wars set ever made was 75218 X-Wing Starfighter. This set was released back in 2018 with 731 pieces, and just like the TIE Fighter and the Y-Wing, I think this is the best playscale X-Wing that LEGO has ever made by a long shot. Now its minifigure lineup is definitely not as crazy as the Y-Wing or the TIE Fighter, but man, the X-Wing itself is just such a great model. It's pretty much perfectly minifigure scale, and it's such a great set for playability because it's so easy to handle, and on top of that it has a cool feature where you can actually switch the X-Wing out between Red 5 and Red 3 because it comes with both Biggs Darklighter and Luke Skywalker, and when you put either one in the pilot seat you can change these two pieces that switch the X-Wing to their respective squadron. Anyways, continuing on, next up we have $90, and now $90 was probably the hardest price point for me to choose for this list because over the years LEGO has just made countless incredible $90 sets like the 2013 ATTE, the original gunship, Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, Mos Espa Pod Race. There's really just so many incredible $90 sets from over the years, but in my opinion the best one is a fan favorite, being 7261 Clone Turbo Tank. This set was released back in 2005 with 801 pieces. Now I mean, this set did come out in 2005, it obviously would not hold up today, but back then it was absolutely incredible, and I still think it's one of the best playsets ever made. Yes, the Turbo Tank is outdated, but it still just looks really good, and on top of that it has an insane minifigure lineup. You get 4 clone troopers, all 4 of them are different, including that infamous original Kashyyyk trooper that some people love and some people hate, but regardless it's still iconic. And then on top of that you get a light up Mace Windu and 2 battle droids. It really was just one of the best playsets from 2005, and to this day I think it holds the title as the best $90 LEGO Star Wars set. Next up we have $100, and unlike $90, the set for $100 was kind of a no-brainer. In my opinion, the best $100 LEGO Star Wars set ever made was 7662 Trade Federation MTT. This set was released back in 2007 and has 1,330 pieces, and I've talked about this set a whole lot recently. I actually just recently reviewed a sealed copy of it, but I mean, in summary, it's one of, if not the best playset ever made. It's nearly 100% accurate to the actual MTT, it has over 20 battle droids, and just looks absolutely incredible on display, and the fact that this set only retailed for $100 even back in 2007 is pretty crazy. Anyways, continuing on, next up we have $110, and much to my surprise, there were actually a lot more $110 LEGO Star Wars sets than I thought there were, but anyways, in my opinion, I think the best one is 75364 New Republic E-Wing vs Shin Hati Starfighter. This set was released last year in 2023 and is still available today in 2024, and it has 1,056 pieces. Both the Starfighters in this set just look really awesome and really clean to me. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think the E-Wing has such an awesome design and has a really cool play feature with the landing gear and the folding wings, and Shin Hati Starfighter is awesome as well. I love how it's clearly based off of an older fighter plane, and not to mention both of these builds have very vibrant colors, which is pretty rare for LEGO Star Wars sets considering the fact that they're all usually gray. Continuing on, next up we have $120, and this one was also kind of a no-brainer. In my opinion, the best $120 LEGO Star Wars set ever made was 75021 Republic Gunship. This set was released back in 2013 with 1,175 pieces, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree this is by far the best playscale Republic gunship that LEGO has ever made. I mean, to me at least, it really is just impressive how accurate and sleek and just good looking they were able to make this set. Although to this day, the fact that it only included one pilot when there's clearly 2 seats and 2 pilots needed will always gripe me, but other than that, this set is pretty much perfect. It just really needed 2 pilots and maybe an extra clone trooper too. Anyways, next up we have $130, and in my opinion, the best $130 LEGO Star Wars set was 75256 Kylo Ren's Shuttle. This set was released back in 2019 with 1005 pieces, and it's not too often that you see me talking about sequel sets, but man, this one just looks really good. As we all know, the 2015 model was pretty much not accurate at all because it was all gray and the wings did not even fold open to their proper position, and then just 4 years later, LEGO decided to just completely fix all of that. They made it the right color, being all black, and they actually gave it the proper wing function, and man, it looks absolutely incredible. Despite the sequels being not so good movies, they really had some awesome ships and vehicles. Continuing on to $140, in my opinion, this one was also kind of another no-brainer, and as the best $140 LEGO Star Wars set, I have 75337 ATTE Walker. This set was released back in 2022 with 1082 pieces. Now yes, the clone troopers do have their problems, and I'm one of the people that does not like the helmet holes, and I also think the helmet printing is inaccurate, but in the end, I'm always going to value the actual build of a set way more than the minifigures, and in this case, this is the best ATTE that LEGO has ever made. Everything about the build itself is just pretty much perfect, and that's why I think this is the best $140 LEGO Star Wars set. Next up we have $150, and there hasn't been a whole lot of $150 LEGO Star Wars sets ever made, and the one that I ended up going with will probably surprise some of you. It's actually a sequel set, being 75189 First Order Heavy Assault Walker. This set was released back in 2017 with 1376 pieces, and just like Kylo Ren Shuttles, these sequels are not great movies, but they have some awesome ships and vehicles, and this is a perfect example of that. I mean, I'm a certified sequel hater, but I'm gonna go so far to say that I think this is one of the best walker designs in all of Star Wars, and LEGO just did pretty much a perfect job at capturing it in play scale. It's got a super aggressive and menacing looking design and just looks so awesome on display, and has a lot of great functionality as well. Next up we have $160, and in my opinion the best $160 LEGO Star Wars set is 75357 Ghost and Phantom 2. This set was released just last year in 2023 and is still available today, and it has 1394 pieces. And this set really is incredible. It's such a significant upgrade from the original Ghost from 2014, and it's also just impressive how much detail and playability they were able to jam pack into this thing at this scale. I mean, it's got a full interior with enough room for all of the minifigures and more, and is pretty significantly detailed as well, and the 2014 Ghost didn't even have an interior. And it also looks great on the outside too. I mean, like I said, I'm always gonna like Star Wars sets that aren't just gray and actually have some type of color to them, and that's what this set has. It's white and very bright and also has some nice red and yellow textures around in there. It's just overall a great set that has great playability and looks pretty good on display. Then next up we have $170, and in my opinion the best $170 LEGO Star Wars set is easily 75288 AT-AT. This set was released back in 2020 with 1267 pieces, and in my opinion and many other people's opinions, this is easily the best playscale AT-AT that LEGO has ever made. I mean, I don't even really have a lot to say about it. It's just really good. It's a very solid model, very accurate, has proper proportions and proper shaping, and it's just a great playset that a lot of people have enjoyed since its release. Now we're jumping straight from $170 to sets that fall within the price range of $200 to $240. We're finally past all of the playsets, and all the sets from here on out are really the big boys. They're the 18 and up and the UCS and the MBS sets. But anyways, in this price range of $200 to $240 is where we find a lot of the May 4th UCS sets, like the X-Wings, the A-Wing, the Y-Wing, mainly all of the Starfighters. But in my opinion, there's one set in this price range that easily stands up with the rest, and that is 75060 Slave 1. This set was released back in 2015 with 1996 pieces, and man, this thing is just incredible. A lot of people consider it to be a top 10 or maybe even a top 5 UCS set of all time, and I strongly agree with that. It's a minifigure scale Slave 1, it's extremely detailed and has a proper interior and it's also pretty unique compared to the rest of the sets in this price range, because usually they're pretty oversized starfighters, but in this case we're getting a minifigure scale bounty hunter ship that's not really like a starfighter at all, and again, it just looks really good and is one of the most legendary sets ever made. Next up we have a bit of an odd price range, being between $250 and $270, $70. And like I said, it's kind of an odd price range, but this is also where we saw a lot of the most iconic UCS sets, like the Ewok Village, the Death Star 2, the original UCS Star Destroyer, and then of course the Republic dropship with AT-OT. But in my opinion, the best set to fall within this price range is 10212 Imperial Shuttle. This set was released back in 2010 with 2,503 pieces. And just like the Slave One, this is one of the most legendary UCS sets of all time. It's pretty much a minifigure scale Imperial Shuttle. I say pretty much because it's actually a little bit smaller than it should be, and I mean smaller than it should be to be minifigure scale. On its own, this is an absolutely massive set. Its wingspan is absolutely insane, and it's just one of the best display pieces LEGO has ever made. Its minifigure lineup is kind of mediocre compared to other UCS sets, but I don't think that's a problem because the build itself, again, is just crazy. Next up, we have $300 to $350, and there's only two sets that fall within this price range, being 75059 Sandcrawler and 75222 Betrayal on Cloud City. The UCS Republic gunship was originally $350, but then as you guys know, LEGO raised its price to $400, so now it's just the Sandcrawler and the Cloud City, and I think the Sandcrawler is the better set by a long shot. This is the most impressive Sandcrawler model LEGO has made. It's not quite minifigure scale, but it's significantly bigger than the other two versions. It's got a really great minifigure lineup with a lot of awesome exclusive droids, as well as a good amount of Jawas and a full interior for them. Despite this set technically being a UCS set, it has a lot of play features and a lot of really awesome functionality, and to this day, I think it's one of the best and most unique UCS sets LEGO has ever made. Continuing on to $400, there are four sets in this price range, being 75309 Republic Gunship, 75290 Mos Eisley Cantina, 10221 Super Star Destroyer, and what's arguably the most iconic LEGO Star Wars set ever made, being 10188 Death Star. And in my opinion, the best $400 LEGO Star Wars set is 75290 Mos Eisley Cantina. This set was released back in October of 2020 and is actually still currently available today in 2024 and has 3,187 pieces. This is the only Master Builder Series set to make this list, and man is it awesome. Not only is it pretty much the only modular LEGO Star Wars set that's ever been made, with an extremely detailed build that has a full-on fleshed out interior, but it also just has such an elite minifigure lineup. I mean, this is the Mos Eisley Cantina after all. It's one of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars where we see a lot of really awesome and unique aliens, and LEGO really just went all out trying to jam-pack as many of those characters as they could into this set, and I just think they did such a wonderful job at it. Next up, we have $500, and LEGO has only ever released two $500 Star Wars sets, being 10179 Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon from 2007 and 75159 Death Star from 2016. And the Millennium Falcon is obviously the better set, in my opinion at least, and it's also just an extremely legendary and iconic set as well. It was released back in 2007 with 5,197 pieces, and for a really long time, it was the biggest LEGO Star Wars set ever made, up until I think 2017 when the new model came out. And also for a while, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest LEGO set in general until the Taj Mahal in 2009, I believe. But I mean, all those nerdy facts aside, for a very long time, to the older fans at least, this was a very iconic and sought after set, and ever since the new one came out in 2017, which is still currently available today, people have kind of just pushed this set to the side and stopped talking about it, but that doesn't change the fact that it's just very iconic and one of the most impressive sets for the time, and just one of the most, again, legendary Star Wars sets ever made. Anyways, continuing on, next up we have $600 to $700, and there are three sets within this price range, being 75331 the Razor Crest, 75367 Venator Class Republic Attack Cruiser, and 75252 Imperial Star Destroyer. And you know, if you watched my ranking every UCS set video that I released back in October of 2023, I believe, I actually put the Venator at number 2 and the Star Destroyer at number 1, but since then, I've actually changed my mind. I think the UCS Venator is better than the Star Destroyer, and yes, that means I think it's arguably the best UCS set of all time. Now, I say arguably because the set I'm about to talk about next is in some people's mind a lot better than the Venator, but still in this case, I think it's the best set to fall within the price range of $600 to $700. It was released in October of 2023 and has 5,374 pieces, and man, it's just such a great display piece. The only problem with it is the stickers being off-colored from the bricks, and a few of the stickers just being completely unnecessary, but I don't want to dive into that right now. I complained about that enough in my review. I think the set and build itself on its own is just incredible. LEGO did an amazing job on this model. It's easily my favorite set in my collection, and I think it's probably going to be my favorite set for a very long time. And now last, but certainly not least, least, we have the price point of $850. There are only 2 sets in this price range, and they are the most expensive LEGO Star Wars sets ever made, being 75313 AT-AT and 75192 Millennium Falcon. And in my opinion, I think the best $850 LEGO Star Wars set is the AT-AT. It was released back in 2021 with 6,785 pieces. And you know, a lot of people will argue for the Falcon in this case, and that's fine. I just disagree. I think the AT-AT is better. It's actually crazy to me that LEGO really made a minifigure scale AT-AT. I remember in like 2014, 2015, 2016, people would build mocks of minifigure scale AT-ATs, and the idea was sort of thrown around in the community that LEGO might make one, but no one really thought that would actually happen. But then in 2021, they actually did it, and to this day, I still kind of find that hard to believe. It's got a full-on interior and a massive minifigure lineup of snowtroopers that you can fit all on the inside, and again, it just baffles me that LEGO actually made this set, and it's even more crazy at how good of a job they did on it. And I'm saying that in terms of just aesthetics and how it looks, because unfortunately it is a very fragile model. It's pretty difficult to move around, and the legs are pretty hard to position. I mean, again, it looks really good, but it's unfortunately pretty fragile. But I mean, honestly, what would you expect with a set of this size? I mean, it's kind of bound to be fragile in some areas, but still, that aside, in terms of looks and kind of functionality, because it does have a full interior, this set is just incredible, and I think it's the best $850 set LEGO has made so far, and it's probably going to hold that title for a long time because I don't really see them going over $600 or $700 again anytime soon. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think about my picks down in the comments below. If you agree or disagree, say whatever you want. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the screen right now.